In the last class, we were discussing about application, right? Application and types of applications. How many types of applications we have? Two types of applications. One is framework application, another one is implementation application. First one, framework application, and second one is implementation application. So framework application contains reusable functional components. Framework application contains reusable functional components, whereas implementation application contains specific functional components which are required to process that business, which are required to process that particular line of business. Okay, so that's what implementation application is going to have. So whenever we are going to create some functional components, we need to think about whether it is a generic and reusable functional component or a specific functional component. If it is a generic functional component, then we should place in the framework application. If it is a specific component, we should place it in the implementation application. So what is the advantage? If you are going to come up creating framework application, what advantages you are going to get? So reusability and easy to extend your application, whereas easy to maintain. Overall, it is going to be cost effective and cheaper. Okay, so these are the advantages you will get. And afterwards, I have told you about this point, that is an implementation application can access the features of its framework. Suppose when you create an implementation, if you have created your implementation on top of a framework, then it is going to then it can access the features of framework application. The functional components which are available in framework application, it is allowed to access. It is allowed to access. Vice versa is not possible. Means an implementation application, not vice versa, I'm sorry, and vice versa is also not possible. Framework cannot access implementation, and one implementation cannot access other implementation, because implementation applications are siblings, side by side those will be available. So in order to create a new application, we use a wizard called new application. Wizard name is new application. While creating application, we need to pass these parameters. First one, application name. Second one, application structure or type of the application you need to choose, framework, implementation, like that. And organization name. Third one is organization name. Fourth one is operator ID. Operator ID. So these are the details we should provide. That operator ID will be created and password will be generated. So what is organization here? Yesterday also I was giving you some idea. So organization means it's a topmost business entity. So if you are going to design your business structure, the topmost level what stands is organization. Organization structure will be having 3 levels typically. It can have even more number of levels, but at a typically it is going to have organization structure, organization level, one or more divisions under organization, and units. So unit is the one where business transaction will run. Unit is the one where business transactions will run. Okay, I will come to that point. So today what are we going to learn? Today we are going to learn to know about practical, to know about navigations to create or to implement a practical. So what practicals are we going to do today using Pega environment? Using Pega environment, so we are going to work on a practical of creating framework application and creating implementation application. Creating framework application and creating implementation application. These are the practicals we are going to do. Okay. So creating framework application, what are you going to learn is your application creating on top of Pega platform. I already told you. See, whenever we use default credentials and log into PRPC, you are getting okay. Yeah, devampl at the rate, or not devampl, administrator, right? Administrator at the rate pega.com, password install. So whenever we log in using default credentials, it is taking us into an application called Pega platform. This is the base application. So when you purchase Pega product, okay, as a client and you install it on a server, then by default you'll be getting the same credentials where when you log in, you're going to go to base application called Pega platform. What is there in Pega platform? Pega platform application contains all OOTB functional components. Please mute online students, please mute. Okay, Pega platform application contains all OOTB functional components. OOTB means what? Out of the box is the abbreviation. What does it mean exactly? It is something which is already provided within system. Something already provided within the system. It's a ready-made component. You don't have to create by your own. It will be already available within the system. That's what is going to happen. So let's go ahead now and learn to create framework application. So we are going to start working on our business requirements. So every one of you, you need a notebook, or those students who have connected online, you need a document with you, okay, which you will be accessing regularly to draft your business requirements. You are going to draft the business requirements, which I'm going to tell you. So please take a notebook and be ready. And online students, you can have a notebook in your hand, or you may be having probably like one Word document, something like that. Okay. Creating new application, that too we are going to learn framework application. What is your batch number? 621. 621. 620, right? Class start and invite message. Okay. 7 a.m. right? Okay. 621 batch. I'm creating new application. That is, we are going to create FW application, framework application we are going to create. So we want to create one application to provide insurance. So we are going to create one framework generally, that is an insurance framework. Just give me 1 minute. I'll check once. Any client name I'll check. Okay, we'll take one client name here. Okay, let's go with Bajaj. Okay, write down. Create a framework application. Create a framework application by name framework application by name.
We should type this in our notes like you're typing.
Yeah. Yes. See, I do not usually write the business requirements. I will
Okay.
ask you guys to note down. So you may have either a notebook or you may have a Word document created. So every day you'll be writing the business requirements. Like what whenever we have requirement, you will be writing that. You'll be drafting that requirement. So you have to go through that particular requirement from your notes only, okay, because sometimes requirements will be lengthy. I'll not draft by myself, only for 1 or 2 days I'll be drafting here, okay. So
Okay.
always
Got it.
it is better you take the notes from your end for the requirement only. Practically you don't have to write. So create an FW application, create a framework application by name. Let's say Bajaj Insurance Group. Bajaj Insurance Group. Just like that, I am creating. This is going to be framework application which has a generic name as Insurance Group. It's not like health insurance or home insurance, something like that. It's just Insurance Group, just like that. Okay. Clear, everyone? So this is what we are going to do now. So you don't have to write anything further. Your requirement is over. That's it, done. See, we are now going to create this application by using new application wizard, where we are going to choose the application type as Bajaj Insurance Group, and organization also we will give a name. Bajaj is the name of the organization. That's what we are going to give. Okay, design. So to create new application, I'm going to write. You don't have to write this. Design I am going to write. To create new application, we need to follow below step. We need to follow below steps. What are the steps? First, login using default credentials. Login to Pega using default credentials. So second one is that is click on Pega platform, thereby new application. New application, you choose that, and then you will follow the wizard. You'll further follow the wizard. So log into PRPC using default credentials. What are the default credentials that you're going to use? Just look at here now. So administrator@pega.com, default credentials. Administrator@pega.com, password is install. Install. So you are going to log into PRPC using these credentials. See, if you log in using these credentials, you will be redirected to, you'll be getting into an application by name Pega platform. So remember this point. You can create application from anywhere. By logging to any application, you can create a new application. But we follow one constant process, that is, we always create a new application by going to Pega platform only. By logging to Pega platform only. That is, by using default credentials, any application we want to create, we will log into Pega platform using default credentials. Let's go ahead here, and then so click on application menu. Click on application Pega platform. Click on application Pega platform. So hey, where is application Pega platform? Here you go. You can see on the top left side application Pega platform. So you click on Pega platform application, and thereby you choose new application option. You choose what? New application. Click on new application. So once you click on new application, it runs a wizard by name new application. Look at here on the screen now. Here you have different options, build from scratch, and apart from that there are so many other options are available. What are these things? These are all frameworks. So far I have created. So all the framework applications that are available in your system so far will be listed here. Suppose if I click on ANZ Insurance Group, now the application which I am going to create will be created on top of ANZ Insurance Group. So whatever the framework on which you are going to click, your application is going to get created on top of that framework. So we are going to create our own framework, okay, on top of Pega platform. So we want to create what? Our framework on top of Pega platform. So build from scratch means build on top of Pega platform. Build from scratch means what? Build from scratch, which means that build on Pega platform application. Build on Pega platform application. I want to create my framework application on top of Pega platform application. So I'll proceed with build from scratch. So click on build from scratch. Click on build from scratch. I am going to click on that build from scratch now. Okay. Click on this. So once you click on build from scratch, it will show you two options, Cosmos React and Theme Cosmos traditional architecture. See, Cosmos React has some issues. Okay, I mean, like, Cosmos React is the latest version of user interface which has been introduced from 8.7, which has been introduced from 8.7. Okay, so as that is the latest version with 8.7, there are so many UI issues that you may come across. So we are not going to use that. We are going with traditional architecture. In real time, 90% of you are going to work on traditional architecture only. Okay, 90% of you all are going to work on traditional architecture. Click on traditional architecture. Click on. I'm going to click on traditional architecture. Once you click on traditional architecture, now you will find here one option, that is, what is the name of your application. So you can give any name. So let me give a name here, that is Bajaj Insurance Group. You just remember the name of the application, recommended and our issues addressed to background. That might have been corrected in the later versions. So with this version, there are many issues with the uh, new architecture. So Bajaj Insurance Group, Bajaj Insurance Group, enter some name. After that, click on advanced configuration. Click on advanced configuration. Advanced configuration. You just need to click on advanced configuration. See, you can proceed further without clicking on advanced configuration also, but advanced configuration is going to provide you some additional options which you can choose. What options are available there? We would like to know about it. So let me click on advanced configuration. So see, remember the name of the application is Bajaj Insurance Group. When I click advanced configuration, I can see here application structure. By default, the application structure is, what is the application structure? Implementation is implementation, but we want framework structure, right? So do what? Now change the option. Change the option. I'm going to change it to framework. So you'll be able to do it, right? After that, you just look at the next parameter. After this, so next parameter is application ID. Application ID. So we need to remember this point. So when you are working with Pega, any component that you create, see, means like any rule you create will have a label and ID. Label and ID. Label is for display purpose. ID is the actual name of the rule. Actual name of the rule, using which the system uniquely recognizes the rule. See, for every rule you create, you are creating application now. Application is also one rule in Pega. Application is also a rule in Pega. You are creating an application rule. Now, this will have a name and an ID. What is the name of the application? Bajaj Insurance Group. That is a label, display purpose label. And the ID is the actual name. But see, from the name Bajaj Insurance Group, system had automatically taken ID, Bajaj INS. See, for this system, see, you all are students here, right? To all of you, you have your name. You have your name. But in this institute, if we want to recognize each student uniquely, the name is not going to help us. Name is not going to help us. Then what is going to help us to uniquely recognize? A student roll number or ID. Student roll number or ID number. So every student is going to have a unique student ID number, but two or more students may have same name, right? So whenever you create any rule in Pega, system will ask you what is the label of the rule, display name of the rule. and from that it will generate one ID. ID should not contain any spaces and all. So for us, the application actual name is Bajaj INS. Bajaj INS. That is our framework application name. Then what is Bajaj Insurance Group? While displaying, you will display like Bajaj Insurance Group. Okay, but actual name that system has taken is Bajaj INS. Just you need to remember this. Now, organization name. As I told you yesterday, organization is the topmost business entity. Organization is topmost business entity. Okay, right? So for every application, organization is must. For every application, organization is must. So you are supposed to provide a meaningful name for the organization, but system has generated a random name. System has generated a random name for the organization. Name for organization. Organization, which is not good, which is not a good name, which is not a meaningful name actually. So what we do? So let's remove that. Our own name. So what is a meaningful name that you can give for Bajaj? Okay, that is Bajaj Insurance Group, Bajaj. Organization name is what? I have manually typed here Bajaj. As of now, we are creating framework application. We do not have any such organization by name Bajaj. As of now, we do not have any such organization name by Bajaj. Now, as I have typed it manually, after I finish this wizard, it is going to create an organization by name Bajaj. Now, this is display name. What is the actual name of Bajaj? System is automatically taking only 4 characters. Only how many characters? 4 characters. That is good. Okay, no problem. Save that. Remaining parameters we did not touch. I did not even tell you. So you just cross check before you proceed to create application. Cross check all the options which you have modified or which you have entered. First, application structure is framework. Yes. Organization name is Bajaj. Actual name ID of the organization is BAJ. For everything, display name will be there, ID will be there. So I am good with this. Okay, just click on create application. Click on create application. You just click on create application. Once you click on create application, what is going to happen? Let's see. It will take, see, in your case while you are practicing, it may even take 5 minutes time, because in the background this wizard not only going to create application, but also so many things will get created. So we'll be learning about other things, whatever that is going to get created as we proceed with our course, okay, in learning process. But as of now, you know that it is really going to create an application by name Bajaj Insurance Group, which is of type framework. It is of type framework type. Now, please be on mute. Okay, now look at here now. See, whenever you have created a new application, by this time application has been created. By this time, what is created? Application has been created. But what is the login ID that you can use in order to log into your framework application? So you can use existing login IDs. Suppose there is some other application for which login ID is there. Same login ID you can also use for this application. One login ID can have access to many applications, but we are not going to do that. We would like to create our own operator ID, especially meant for only framework application of Bajaj Insurance Group. So I'm going to give developer. I am a developer, right? So I'm going to give a developer operator ID. Meaningfully, I'm writing developer operator ID for FW application. If you want to log into FW as a developer, you can choose this. But they are asking in the email ID format. So @bajaj.com. @ what? Bajaj.com. That's what the name I have provided. Click on add. Now look at here. So once you click on add, it is going to create a new login ID, which is called as operator ID by name devfw@bajaj.com. It is not mandatory that this should exist as a real email. It's not mandatory that this should exist as a real email. It's a dummy one. And here you can see Cosmos authors. This is called as role. You will be learning in future classes. This is called as role. Cosmos author. What do you mean by author? Author means, you know, book author, right? Author means someone who has created it. Who has created it. So generally, a developer here in Pega is called as author. A developer is called as author. So just click on add. Click on add. So you just click on add. The moment you click on add, what is going to happen is it is going to create one operator ID and generate a random password, which you cannot remember because it's a random things. Okay, here you go now. Copy this operator ID and password into a notepad. So as a backup, as you cannot remember this ID and password, as a backup, take this. I am taking into our this one, like practical here. Okay. So for the first time when you try to log into PRPC application, I mean like your application using this default password, it will prompt you to change the password. We will see that now. Okay. Now we are done. You click on done. So once you click on done, you know what happens. This will be closed. You are here. Now log off. So here you go, log off. Log off will be available at the left bottom. At the left bottom, log off is available. Now we can log in to FW app. What are the credentials? Password, I don't remember that password. So I'm going to copy from here. Click on login. Click on. So once you click on login, no, what is going to happen? Yeah, this is where you go with. This is where you go with. Look at here now. See, you have a new screen displayed where it is prompting you to change the password. This is the reason why I have asked you to copy the old password. See, it is now asking current password. As you cannot remember it, I just requested you guys to copy it. Okay, this is a new password, old password. New password, I am going to give a new password as rules. RULES. What is that? So you can give any password of your wish, but I am going to give a new password as rules. Click on change password. Click on change password. So the moment you click on change password, it is going to create a new password instead of old password, and it will not display any screen like password changed or something. If password is changed, it will get you into application. That's it. So you'll be now redirected to application, which is Bajaj Insurance Group. You see on top of this, I will explain you about this App Studio things and all after some time. But as of now, we should focus only on this one. Just wait for this to get loaded. You can see here Bajaj Insurance Group. Bajaj. So you click on this Bajaj Insurance Group, and here you see application name, new application. That means from here also you can create new application. This is possible, but we never do that. We never be doing that. We will all any application you want to create, we always go for the credentials of administrator@pega.com and install as a password. And here you log off, nothing to do as of now. I'll explain you later. You are back to this login screen. Done. So what are we going to do now? So we are going to learn creating application, that is implementation application. Which application? IMPL application. Everyone write down second requirement. Creating application which is IMPL application. IMPL application. Okay, we are going to now learn to create a new implementation application. Okay, every one of you write down. Create a new implementation application on top of above framework application. Create a new implementation application on top of above framework application. On top of above framework application by name. This implementation application name is going to be Bajaj Auto Insurance. Bajaj Auto Insurance. Bajaj Auto Insurance. That's what we are going to learn to create. We are going to learn to create Bajaj Auto Insurance. Okay. And this is an implementation which we would like to create on top of this one. So, creating Bajaj Auto Insurance implementation application. That's okay. But while creating this application, please, while creating this application, it is a good practice. It is a best practice. It is a best practice to use the same organization as FW application, which is there with FW application design. So we are going to go with design. So if you want to create application, always you remember log into Pega using default credentials. I am not giving default credentials again because I have already given you. So what are the default credentials? Password install. Administrator@pega.com. Password is install. So as usual, you are into Pega platform. So run new application. That run same navigation. That is, you can click on application Pega platform and then choose new application. So now you are here at the screen where it is displaying all the frameworks. Your Bajaj Insurance Group framework also available. Now the implementation application that I want to create, it should come on top of Bajaj Insurance Group. So I should click on Bajaj Insurance Group. Instead of this, if you again click on build from scratch, what will happen, you know? Your application will get created on top of Pega platform. But I don't want it. Already on top of Pega platform, Bajaj Insurance Group is there. So I want to create my application on top of Bajaj Insurance Group. We want to create our application on top of Bajaj Insurance Group. So let's click on it. See, while creating implementation application, you will come across three different screens which you have not come across in the past. In the past, you don't see that 3 screens, but 3 new screens will come here. We will just pass on from the screen by clicking on next. We are not going to do anything, but just let me show you. Click on this. I'm sorry, it's changed it, right? What is that? Bajaj Insurance Group. I'm going to click on Bajaj Insurance Group. So after you click on Bajaj Insurance Group, the system is going to give you one screen asking you to confirm, that is build with Bajaj Insurance Group. Are you sure to proceed with Bajaj Insurance Group, or you want to go back and choose another different framework? So I do not want to do that. Click on build with Bajaj Insurance Group. Click on build with Bajaj Insurance Group. I'm going to click on that now. So once you click on build with Bajaj Insurance Group, it is going to proceed to create your application on top of Bajaj Insurance Group. But now you see no case types available. As of now, you do not know what is a case type. As of now, you guys do not know what is a case type. There is nothing to deal with at this moment of time at this particular screen. Just click on continue. Click on what? And same way data types also. We will be practically working on these case types and data types. For now, we are going to proceed further to continue. This screen you know this particular screen. Enter some name of your application, Bajaj Auto Insurance. Bajaj Auto Insurance. Click on advanced configuration. Click on advanced configuration. So once you click on advanced configuration, always by default the application structure is going to be implementation. Application structure is going to be. So we are also looking for the same application structure implementation only. So I am not touching that to modify, but I want you to make an observation. I have highlighted in the screenshot. Next thing is application ID. Application ID. I have given application name as Bajaj Auto Insurance. It has taken application ID as Bajaj Auto. Previously, what was the application ID? Bajaj INS. So what is your application framework? Application name is Bajaj INS. What is your implementation application name? Bajaj Auto. Bajaj, that's the actual name. So it has generated a random name for the organization. It has generated a random name for the organization. Then, but we would like to create this application which will have same organization as frame. This is a best practice, and mostly 99.9% you'll see the same. See, for implementation application or one or more implementations and frameworks, it is a good practice to have same name for the organization. See, when you create a new application, which is framework application is created, operator ID is created, and also organization is created. Before framework application, there is no organization by name BAJA, Baja. There is no organization by that name. When you create a framework application for Bajaj Insurance Group, that time only a new organization has been created. That means the organization from which you want to create this implementation, is it already available or not available by this time?
It's
It's
available.
already available.
Yes.
It's already available because when you create framework application, it got created. So I am going to choose the existing organization despite writing. Previously, I have manually typed it. That time organization was not there. But now I am going to choose it. Choose means list of values available. Out of the list, you choose one value. Choose one value. So what is that I am going to do now? You can see here organization name. You can see here the name of the organization is a random name. Remove the organization name and click the down arrow on your keyboard to see the list. Let me tell you one point. On PRPC environment, if you find any text input with a thick blue color dot at the right bottom corner, then that is a drop down. That is a drop down. So in order to populate the values of this drop down, you just need to click the down arrow on your keyboard. Okay. Remove random name of the organization and choose Bajaj. Remove random name of org. Choose BA. So I will delete these things now. So I click on down arrow on my keyboard. The moment I click on down arrow on my keyboard, it is displaying all the list of organizations available in the system. But which one I want to choose? Bajaj. These are just simple navigations. Division units I will tell you later. Save. So now we are trying to create implementation application, for which we went to advanced configuration. There we can see application type as implementation and organization is random name. We modified it to choose existing organization name. Save. So click on create and open. Click on create and open. So you will do it now. Create and open. Create application. Oh, not create and open. Create application. Click on create application. Create application. So once I click on create application, it starts creating a new application, which is implementation type. So today, every one of you should start working on this practical of creating framework application and creating implementation. To create both of these applications, you log into Pega platform only. See, after you create framework application, you can create implementation by being within framework. That is possible. Okay, but it is not recommended. It is not recommended because you will get confused a lot, because that some options will change. So you are a beginner, you do not know about those options, so better we do not take any risk now. We will just go with framework application and implementation application, both creation by using default credentials only. Now it is asking, what is the login ID? What is the operator ID? Operator ID means login ID, which you would like to create to log into this application. See, I can use the same login ID which I had created while creating framework application. I can, but I am not going to do that because as of now, I want two different logins, one per application. That is one for framework, another one for implementation. So developer operator ID only I am going to create for my implementation application of bajaj.com. So Bajaj devimpl@bajaj.com and add devimpl@bajaj.com and then click on add. So once you click on add, you can select here. Now choose username and password. Choose username and okay, not choose, copy username and let me copy this into a notepad or document. Otherwise I'll forget. Okay, so now I have copied it. You just click on done or log off. You can log off now. Click on log off. You can directly log off or you can click on done and go back and log off. Implementation is also ready. Now log into IMPL app. Log into IMPL. I'm going to click log into IMPL app. devimpl@ what is that? Bajaj.com. Bajaj.com. What is the password? I don't remember that. So that's the reason why I have copied here. So click on login. So now it will ask you to change the password. As usual process you are following. So for this reason you need to remember the old password. For this old password, the new password is again rules. What is the new password? Rules only. Both applications password is different, but user ID is password is same, but user ID is different. Okay, it will take time to load. It will be loaded in a minute or two. See the one where, okay, in Pega platform, the default desktop screen that got loaded is set to be App Studio. What is it called as? App Studio is for developers. What do developers are going to do? They do develop the applications, functionalities and all. See, App Studio as of today, even in the latest version also, doesn't have or doesn't give you a facility to create all different types of rules in Pega. It's a limited plus express development. Express means fast. What? Faster development. If you want to go with quick development of few things, not everything, you go with App Studio. If you want full-fledged development capabilities, then you go for Dev Studio. Which studio? So let me write down here. Click on App Studio on top right. On top right, you have App Studio. Click on that and choose Dev Studio. Choose one. Select Dev Studio, which is really meant for developers, LSS. Okay, so after this, you can close this tab. So after this is loaded, on the left hand side, you see these are Explorer items. This is called Explorer. These are Explorer items. Recent case types, data types, app records, files. We'll be working on all of this. We're going to click on App Explorer. Click on App Explorer on left panel. On left panel. Left panel means this is left panel. This is the left panel. Click on App. Now you see 3 applications you have access to. How many applications you have access to? 3. So by login to implementation application itself, you can access anything from a framework application. You can create anything in the framework. See, first application is Bajaj Auto Insurance, currently logged in application, which is built on top of Bajaj Insurance Group, which is again built on top of Pega platform. Pega platform is a base rule. Pega platform is a base. Okay, clear everyone? And these are called classes, which I will tell you later. So with this, we are done with the practical of creating applications, framework and implementation application. Okay, let me give you interview questions. See here, interview questions on application creation. What is an application? You know, application is collection of functional components. Okay. What is Pega provided OOTB application and what does it contain? Pega provided OOTB application by name, Pega platform. It contains so many OOTB rules. So many OOTB rules. So how to create framework application on top of Pega platform? Navigations you need to explain. For this question, the answer is navigations. So login using default credentials, click on application menu and choose new application. There you are going to get one screen asking you to proceed with build from scratch or framework. You choose whatever the option you are comfortable with as per your requirement. Name your application, click on advanced configuration and there choose the application structure, either framework or implementation, and you give the good name for the organization, removing the random name, click on save and then proceed further. So it will create a new application and ask you to give the login ID of the application. So you need to enter login ID in the email ID format. So I have entered @domain.com like that. So after that, application will be created. So that like this, you need to explain step-by-step navigations. If they are going to ask any scenario-based question, you need to explain how do you implement, what do you create, what are the steps to be followed for that, and how to create framework application. I told you what are different types of applications: framework application and implementation. What type of functional components will be available in framework application? Will the framework application contains? And answer is reusable. Answer is reusable. What type of functional components the implementation application contains? Specific functional components related to only that particular implementation. And can implementation application access the functional components of framework application? Yes. Can framework application access the functional components of implementation? No. Vice
No.
versa is not possible. So can an implementation application access functional components of another implementation application? No, it
No.
cannot, because implementations will be always side by side. And what are the workspaces in Pega? For your information, App Studio is a workspace, Dev Studio is a workspace. Similarly, we have Prediction Studio, Admin Studio, some of these things. We will be working on Admin Studio also. Prediction Studio is not part of our syllabus. That's a different, completely different. Okay. So these are the possible interview questions that you have been given with. 620 interview questions document I am adding. Interview questions I am adding. That is October 0708. Do you have any questions or any doubts? Anyone has any doubts or any questions? Online students or offline students?
Sir,
Any doubts?
yes, sir.
Yes, please.
As you said, we can log in with the same ID for different applications, right? If we log in with the same ID, then which application will it be opening?
Yeah, that's what. As you do not know so many things internally in depth, we have avoided doing using same login for two applications. Okay, so we will be doing that in future. But as of now, for every application, one separate login ID. So even though an operator ID, a login ID is connected with 5 applications, out of the 5,
Okay.
one should be a default option. One application should be a default one that will be loaded. Default one will be loaded, and we will get an option of switch application. What is the option? So you can see, you can switch to other application also. Okay, so these are the interview
Okay.
questions document that I have. And I got class October 08 2024. So what are the documents I should attach? Application and types of application. Yesterday also I have attached this. Next, practical document 621. Interview questions October 8th. Practical document. Class running notes also I should attach. So these are the things that you can cover up by tomorrow, by this practical. Tomorrow I am going to explain you some concepts. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow will be theory. Whatever the theoretical concepts that we are going to learn tomorrow, day after tomorrow, those concepts we are going to use practically as we proceed with our course. As we proceed further with our course, we are going to use the concepts that we are going to explain tomorrow and day after tomorrow. You understand, right? First I will explain theory and then we do practical on it. Same way tomorrow, theory plus concept I'll explain you. 2 days it will take, and all the concepts which we discuss tomorrow, and that will come throughout your development career. Those topics will be used throughout your development career. Anyone has any doubts or any questions?
Yeah, I have one question here, Harsha.
Yes,
So
please.
once you get into the project and into the real time, so they will create an administrator team, they will create the credentials and they will give it to you. So once you are
Yes.
trying to use those credentials and logging into the applications, every time again you need to create your own thing. I mean, or you don't need to create the credentials there.
First time when you log in, it will prompt for the changing the password. Once you
Mhm.
change it, next time it won't ask you to change the password. Okay, clear?
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Got it.
so
Thank you.
now proceeding further. So tomorrow we are going to learn to discuss about OOPS concepts. Those concepts we will apply in our day-to-day development life every time in real time. Every time in real time. So these are also required for interview purpose and all. Okay, so you should not miss the session tomorrow and after tomorrow at any cost. Okay, every one of you, are you clear?
Harsha, I have a different question.
Go ahead.
I still have a problem with Pega installation. I tried to contact your team last night, but it didn't work out for me.
So mostly our team will be available to you in India time 10:30 10 a.m. Let's say 10 a.m. It is now 8 o'clock. 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. They will be
Yeah,
available. Is it possible to
right.
reach out to you in this time
I
zone?
did reach out that time, but what happened is the person said they went out for lunch, and I waited for almost 1.5 hours, and I sent a message on WhatsApp. I didn't get reply, and then I went back to sleep because I'm in USA. It was my night time, like
So today
2 o'clock,
10
3
o'clock
o'clock
10:15 is possible. After 2 hours, is it possible? After 2 hours.
today. Today,
Today, yes. Yes.
yes, yes,
2 hours
11:30.
from now. Yes,
Yes.
yes. You just directly call me on my WhatsApp. I'll allocate
Okay.
one person so that
So the
will
number is 2753, right? Ending in 2753.
that is office number. You can reach out to me by a WhatsApp call or phone call. Triple eight
Okay.
62 66619.
Okay.
Okay. See, remember, you have already tried this, right? Installation process.
Yes,
Did you
there is
try?
something, that thing before when you go into Pega installation, there is something called for something which you have to download from Google.
Did you
I'm
follow?
having,
Did you follow the video and did you
yes, video,
try
but
to
I'm not getting the same options.
same options means version can be different. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, version after that, it gave me some other options also, and I'm not sure what options to you choose after
No
that.
problem. Reach out to me after
Okay.
2 hours from now. We will do it. Okay. 10 o'clock,
All
you
right.
reach out to me.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll reach out
Yes.
in 2 hours exactly.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye bye.
And every one of you, whoever has connected today, and for today we are good. And tomorrow we are going to start learning about these things like October 092024. Tomorrow is conceptual explanation, object oriented programming concept. Concepts only we need. Okay, those concepts you are going to use regularly, and in the interviews also they will ask you those concepts. So please make sure that you do not miss these sessions. These 2 days sessions will be using for lifetime. Okay, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we'll wind up for today. We'll continue tomorrow. For five minutes before itself we can wind up for today. Just practice this thing. Yesterday session theory concept, today practical. All together is one concept only. All together is one concept. So 2 days is one topic done so far. Okay, and tomorrow we'll meet sharp 7 o'clock. You can wind up for today. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay,
one question. The
go
number
ahead.
you gave, 888, it does not have an India code, so I have to put India code in front of it, like 9291, something like that. Okay.
This one.
Okay,
Okay,
great. Thank you.
next.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Can
Someone else was trying to ask something.
can you send me this community edition for Mac OS you have told yesterday to give?
Swati, I will prepare a document today. Okay, and I
Yeah,
will share it to you. Okay, just WhatsApp me, please. Leave
yeah,
a WhatsApp message on this number requesting for the same
yeah. Thank you.
community edition document, community edition creation document. I'll share you. Okay, now. Thank you.